Hey everyone, and welcome to today's Explainer. I am so incredibly excited to have you all here in class today because, well, we are going to look at one of the absolute wildest, most fascinating, and honestly slightly chaotic mysteries ever documented in the ocean. So, grab your notebooks and get ready because we're heading deep underwater to look at a behavior so bizarre it sounds like an urban legend. But I promise you, it is 100% real, and it's absolutely going to make you rethink everything you thought you knew about how smart marine mammals actually are.
Picture this. You and your friends are hanging out in the pool, tossing a ball around, having a good time. Now, replace that ball with a living, breathing, spiky, and highly toxic pufferfish. Yeah, you heard me right. Why on earth are dolphins playing a game of hot potato with a pufferfish? I mean, it makes absolutely no sense at first glance. Pufferfish are literally covered in spikes, and they carry a deeply dangerous defense mechanism. Yet these dolphins aren't trying to eat it. They aren't trying to destroy it. They're just gently passing it around. What exactly is going on inside those big, intelligent brains of theirs to make them want to do this?
Okay, let's dive into this. Section 1. Caught on Hidden Camera, the 2013 discovery. To really understand this crazy ocean mystery, we have to look at how scientists actually managed to catch this behavior on film in the first place without completely scaring the dolphins away. Because, dolphins don't usually act this wonderfully weird when humans are swimming right next to them with big clunky cameras. So back in 2013, a documentary crew for a BBC show called Dolphins, Spy in the Pod, came up with a total genius idea. They disguised their hidden cameras as other sea creatures, and an incredible sequence of events played out. Hour 1, they deploy the cameras. Hour 2, a pod of young dolphins stumbles across a pufferfish, but instead of a quick snack, the footage shows them doing something completely unbelievable over the next few hours. In Hour 3, they are gently passing this pufferfish around the pod, literally taking turns. And then, Hour 4 brings the aftermath. The dolphins start acting distinctly goofy. They float just beneath the ocean's surface, seemingly completely mesmerized by staring at their own reflections in the water.
It is an amazing sequence. To figure out the why, we really have to act like detectives here. Which brings us to Section 2, the chemical suspect. What is inside the pufferfish? Our prime suspect isn't really the pufferfish itself, but rather the hard chemistry hiding inside of it. The absolutely crucial word here is tetrodotoxin. Say it with me in your heads. Tetrodotoxin. It's a mouthful, right? This is a powerful natural toxin that the pufferfish uses for defense. In a large dose, it is literally designed to stop a hungry predator's heart. Boom, game over. But in tiny, tiny little microdoses, like what you might get if you just gently squeezed a pufferfish in your teeth without breaking the skin, it causes a very strange, numbing sensation. Think about what happens if you eat a really intense sour candy, or maybe a slightly spicy pepper that makes your tongue and lips go totally numb and tingly. That is the exact chemical reaction happening inside the dolphins' mouths.
And because nature is just full of surprises, marine biologists actually debate what this all means. Let's look at Section 3, the scientific investigation, and 2 wild theories.
This is exactly how the scientific method works in the real world, class. You have one amazing observation, but you can have completely different hypotheses to explain it. We have a fascinating scientific divide right now. On one side, we have the getting high theory, which suggests these dolphins are intentionally using the tetrodotoxin for a hallucinogenic or narcotic effect. And on the other side, we have the just playing theory, which basically says, nah, these are just rowdy animals playing around with their food. Let's break down the evidence for both, because it really makes you think about how we interpret animal behavior.
First up, the wildly popular getting high theory. The biologists in this camp point to the fact that, well, we know tetrodotoxin can have a narcotic effect in those tiny microdoses, and we definitely know dolphins are incredibly highly intelligent creatures. Just like humans get bored, dolphins constantly seek out new forms of stimulation to keep their big brains active. They are always actively experimenting with their environment. So this theory argues that the dolphins know exactly what they're doing. They literally found a chemical in nature, figured out the exact right dosage to squeeze out of the pufferfish without killing themselves, and are passing it around to experience an altered state. Pretty mind-blowing to think about, right?
But wait, good scientists always welcome a healthy dose of skepticism. The scientists backing the just playing theory argue that, honestly, a deadly heart-stopping toxin probably doesn't actually feel good to a dolphin. They argue it might just simply make the dolphins' mouths feel super weird and numb. We already know that dolphins are notorious for playing with other sea life just for fun. Toss some seaweed around, bother some smaller fish. It's just what they do. So this side argues that the dolphins really aren't seeking some deep hallucinogenic high. They are simply fascinated by a strange, tingly sensation on their tongues, and they're passing the fish around like a cool new toy they found in the ocean. I absolutely love how some researchers describe this specific pod of young dolphins. They literally call them the typical mischievous teenagers of the ocean. I mean, think about it. They're hanging out in a group, finding something they probably shouldn't be messing with, daring each other to try it, and then acting incredibly goofy afterward. It is such a relatable way to think about complex animal behavior. They aren't just swimming robots. They have distinct personalities, deep curiosity, and for sure, a huge sense of mischief.
And this brilliantly illustrates the bigger picture of our lesson today, leading us right into Section 4, Animal Intelligence, and what this teaches us.
Whether they're purposefully using chemistry to alter their minds or just playing a rowdy game of hot potato with a weird-feeling toy, this entire event is a masterclass in brain power. Let's break their intelligence down. Step 1. Impulse control and physical precision. They have to carefully control their incredibly strong jaws to squeeze the fish gently enough to get the toxin, but not so hard that they puncture the fish and accidentally swallow a lethal dose. That is amazing control. Step 2. Social cooperation. They aren't fighting over it. They are patiently taking turns and passing it around the pod. And step 3, maybe the coolest one, self-awareness. Floating at the surface, mesmerized by their own reflections. The ability to recognize yourself in a reflection is a massive indicator of high-level intelligence that very, very few animals possess. This whole interaction just showcases how deeply complex and brilliant dolphin behavior truly is.
Now, we absolutely have to acknowledge the obvious here. It is a terrible day to be that specific pufferfish. Being passed around as a living chew toy or some sort of underwater science experiment by a gang of mischievous ocean teenagers is definitely not ideal. But it is a truly great day for marine biology, because hidden camera footage like this opens up entire new worlds of understanding about the phenomenal creatures we share this planet with.
So I am turning it over to you. We've looked at the footage, we've broken down the intense chemistry of tetrodotoxin, and we've debated the two main scientific theories. Based on the evidence we've covered today, what do you think? Are these highly intelligent dolphins intentionally getting a narcotic effect, or are they just rowdy teenagers playing a fun ocean game with a numb tongue? I want you to really think critically about this, pick a side, and get ready to defend your hypothesis. Thanks for joining me on today's Explainer, and keep asking great questions.